Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I made a video yesterday discussing 160-pound lifters who can deadlift 500 pounds or more for reps. And a lot of people tried to argue with me that this isn't that rare, that they know people who can do it down in the comments, and let's have a little discussion about standards on the internet versus standards in the real world. People don't understand how absolutely rare this is and why when they say that they know multiple people who do this, there's a pretty good chance that they're lying. In fact, odds are they are lying. And what I want to break down for that, let's look at the IPF World's Open results from last year. This is arguably, I don't think anyone will dispute this, this is the largest powerlifting federation in the world. It has the highest level of competition, and this is the world level. This is the largest powerlifting federation in existence around the world. And this event is a true international event. This is their world championship. This represents the top 0.5% of competitive powerlifters around the globe. Indisputable. So let's look at the field here, because when you think about it, generally someone who can do something for reps, we're generally talking about at least 3 reps. Hitting a quick double is not really reps, 3 reps or more. Most people can do around 3 reps with 90% of their max. Now, arguably, when you peak for a competition and you're peaked for it, your max is going to be even higher, so it's no longer even a true representation. But let's say at any time of the year that a person should be able to hit, at least with their training max, 3 reps. So 500 pounds for 3 reps usually equals around a 555-pound deadlift. So in kilos, which is what they're going to measure here, we're talking about pretty much a 255 or higher kilo deadlift, because 252.5 is actually a little less than 555. So we're looking for 255 kilos or higher as a max. And competition max, these guys might actually be weaker than this during most of the year. So let's even throw that out. We're going to give a lot of leeway and give the benefit of the doubt. Let's go through and look at the weight classes. Now we're going to start with the sub 160 class. It's 66 kilos up above, because the 74s is basically 163. That's what you're looking for. But the people who are the next class down, the World Championship, and you notice it's mostly Russians winning this. You have 4 guys on the field out of 10 who are capable of hitting that number or higher. Everyone else, if you look through there, their competition max was lower than that, 250 or lower for the most part. This is the best in the world. This is world events. These are people who took medals at their national events, which are invite only, who got invited to Worlds, who decided to go ahead and go to Worlds because they thought they were good enough to make it. You got 4. Then you go over to the 74 kilo, which is again about 163.5 pounds body weight. And when you go through and count the number of guys at the world level event, go down the row, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 guys out of a field of 16 in that class in the entire world championship are capable of hitting it. And that's not the main thing. The main thing is that there are 6 who couldn't do it. And notice some of them barely skirted by. Out of that 10, you notice 2 of them barely inched out that number. So you're talking about guys who on a good day, their best, can pull 500 for a triple. That's 2 out of that 10. And then you have 6 guys on the field who are at the world level. This is the open class. This is the widest category. The numbers are expected to be the highest because it's the healthiest age group. This is like age 23 up to 39. You got 6 guys at the world level who can't even reach this number. That really should say something, and it's really important when you think about it from that perspective. 6 guys can't do it, and 2 guys can barely inch it out. So when people say that they know a lot of people who can do this, well, why aren't they represented more at the world level? Keep in mind, you're oftentimes talking about regular gym rats who have no serious coaching or training, and these are people from around the globe who sometimes have the best powerlifting coaches in the world working with them for years. Some of these guys have been peaking and training for this for 8, 9, 10 years or more, and this is what they're hitting, and 6 guys on the field can't even reach those numbers, probably with really good coaching. So stop and think about that for a minute. The next thing to look at, let's go up a couple weight classes. Let's go up to the 83 kilo and the 93. The 93 kilo puts people up there over 200 pounds, by the way. You go through and look in it, IPF Worlds, the next class up, there was a guy who couldn't do it. And if you look through there, there's a few guys in there who could barely do it. You go to the 93 kilo, and again, 93 kilos is about 205 pounds body weight. That's over 200 pounds. You have, at the world level, 4 guys who can't do it. They can't reach those numbers. 4 guys on there. This is the most competitive field in the world. Top level, 0.5% best powerlifters in the world. And so people want to say that they know a lot of people who can do this. And it's really amusing when you think about it from that perspective. And even more importantly, let's look at all the people in my comments who argued with this. Where are most of you located? Well, my audience is 55% American. English-speaking countries make up over 90% of my total subscribers and viewers. So that's going to be the United States, Great Britain, Canada, Australia are my 4 biggest countries. That makes up somewhere between 90 to 95% of my audience. A big chunk of the rest of my audience are mostly in places like France, Germany, things like that. So let's look at the people on this list. Go back and look at the first one again. How many people from the countries that I named do you see hitting those numbers? All right, the 66 kilo, nope. I don't see anyone from any English-speaking country reaching it. In fact, there's only one American on the field. I believe he happens to have a YouTube channel. He can't do it. Let's go up to the 74. So we're back over to the 163 pound class. Do we see anyone from any of those countries doing it? Looking through Poland, Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan. Oh, you got a Norwegian. France, Japan. You don't see a single American, Brit, Canadian, or Australian represented anywhere among the people who can do it. Not one. So if you know someone in any of those countries that you claim you've seen do this who can pull 500 for 3 or more reps, if you love your country and you want to see your country represented, why don't you go talk to them and convince them to do a couple powerlifting meets? Because they will go in and place, they will take a gold medal at nationals in your country. They will have the best pound for pound deadlift up there. They will dominate the competition. They are, in the 160 pound range, the strongest deadlifter in your country in the open age class. They are the strongest. They'll actually take a gold medal probably at nationals, and if they go to worlds, they will be the highest ranking representative of your country at worlds and IPF. So if you guys are saying you know someone who can do this, you know multiple people who can do this, you should really go convince them to do some powerlifting meets because they're actually the best in your country. So again, if you love your country, go push them and do this. Same for you guys who are in a few of these other countries, Germany, Sweden, Norway, some of these other people who are commenting in here. Get these people to go compete. They're the best in your country. Convince them to get up and do a competition. So when you look at it from this perspective, I think a lot of people need to realize that they're seeing a lot of stuff on the internet and not realizing that what you're seeing online or what people are bragging about, what they know is not the real world. This isn't reality, because these charts represent reality at the international level of top competition. This is what people are doing. This is the best of the best. This is beyond the top 1%. And these guys generally have professional coaches, good coaches. And so if you know guys who are just at the gym who train on their own, maybe have a low ranking coach or no coach at all, and they're capable of surpassing this, you have someone who should be competing at the world level and be dominating it and be representing your country there. They shouldn't just be hanging out in a gym. So a little bit of perspective, people. The internet versus the real world is not always the same thing. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.